A few months had passed, and the baby was now 6 months old. Daniel had been a great support for Amara, and they had grown even closer. One day, Daniel decided to plan a special surprise for Amara. He called Kemi and asked for her help. "Kemi, can you watch the baby for a few hours tonight? I want to take Amara out for something special." Kemi agreed, knowing it was important. "Of course, Daniel, I will take care of everything." That evening, Daniel picked up Amara. She noticed he seemed both excited and a little nervous. "Daniel, what is going on? You seem really happy tonight," Amara said. Daniel smiled, trying to stay calm. "I wanted to do something special for us. You have been so wonderful, and I want to show you how much you and the baby means to me." Amara smiled, curious. "That sounds great. I am excited." They arrived at a beautiful park with twinkling lights and a soft music playing. Amara was amazed. "Wow, Daniel, this place is so magical," Amara said. Daniel led her to a cozy spot by a small fountain that sparkled in the light. "I'm glad you like it. I wanted tonight to be perfect." As they sat down, Daniel looked serious. "Amara, there is something I need to talk to you about." Amara looked at him, a bit worried. "What is it?" Daniel took a deep breath. "I know I have made mistakes in the past, and I have told you about them before. I want you to know I regret those mistakes. I'm trying to be a better person because of you and the baby." Amara looked confused. "Daniel, you keep talking about your past mistakes, but you have shown me how much you care. Why do you keep feeling bad about your past?" Daniel sighed. "I have made some bad choices, and I'm very sorry for them. I don't want to make you feel sad, but I want you to know that I'm trying to make things right." Amara looked at him kindly. "Daniel, you don't need to keep saying sorry. You have already shown me that you care. I just want to know why you are so hard on yourself." Daniel took her hand and looked into her eyes. "I guess I'm hard on myself because I don't want to make the same mistakes again. I want to be a good partner and a father. I am sorry if I had made you feel worried." Amara squeezed his hand. "I understand, but you are already showing me how much you care, and that's all that matters. You don't need to keep feeling bad about the past." Daniel nodded, feeling relieved. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small box. As he opened it, a beautiful ring sparkled inside. "Amara, will you marry me? Will you be my wife and make our family complete?" Daniel asked, his voice full of love. Amara's eyes filled with happy tears. She looked at the ring and then at Daniel. "Daniel, I didn't expect this. I'm so touched." Daniel's voice was gentle. "I know it's a surprise, but I want you to know how much I care. Will you marry me and be part of my life?" Amara nodded, tears of joy streaming down her face. "Yes, Daniel, I will marry you. I want to build a life with you." Daniel's face lighted up with happiness. He gently put the ring on her finger and hugged her tightly. They kissed, feeling the love and the joy of the moment. As they held each other close, The park around them seemed even brighter. The future was still unknown, but this moment was filled with hope, love, and a deep connection. Daniel and Amara's wedding was beautiful and glamorous. The venue was decorated with twinkling lights and flowers. Amara looked stunning in her white dress, and Daniel was very handsome in his suit. Everyone at the wedding was excited and happy. When it was their time for vows, Daniel took Amara's hand and looked into her eyes. His voice was shaky with emotion. "Amara, you have changed my life in so many ways. I know I have made mistakes, but you have shown me what real love is. I promise to love you forever, support you, and always be there for you and our child. I want to spend my whole life with you." Daniel's eyes were full of tears. Many people in the crowd were crying too. Amara was surprised by how much Daniel cared. She wiped her eyes and said, "Daniel, I never knew someone could love me this much. I promise to support you, love you, and be with you always. You have shown me what true love really means." The ceremony was full of love and emotions. Afterwards, at the reception, Amara overheard some guests talking. They were surprised that Daniel, a handsome and caring man, was marrying someone who already had a child. They thought it was unusual. Amara felt a little bit uncomfortable, but tried to ignore it. She looked at Daniel, who smiled and said, "Don't worry about them. Today is about us and our happiness." Amara smiled back, feeling better. "Thanks, Daniel. I will try not to let it bother me." Later, Daniel surprised Amara with a brand new blue car. "What is this?" Amara asked, her eyes wide. "It's a gift for you," Daniel said with a big smile. "I wanted to celebrate our new life together." Amara hugged him tightly. "This is amazing. Thank you so much." Daniel kissed her on the cheek. "I'm glad you like it. You deserve it even more." Few days later, they went to their new home. It was really beautiful, with a garden and a big rooms. Amara couldn't believe it. "Is this really ours?" she asked, amazed. "Yes," Daniel said, holding her hand. "I wanted us to have a special place to start our new life together. It's all for you and our baby." Amara felt so happy. "I am so lucky to have you. You have made all my dreams come true." Daniel hugged her. "I'm just happy to see you happy. You are a wonderful partner and a mother." A year later, their baby was now a year and 6 months old. Amara had gone back to her work with Daniel's help. He had found her a job that lets her balance with work and taking care of their child. One evening, while they were having dinner, Amara looked at Daniel and said, "Thank you for everything. You have made my life so much better." Daniel smiled and took her hand. "I'm happy to see you happy. You are an amazing partner." Amara leaned closer, her eyes shining. "And you are the best husband. I couldn't have done this without you." Daniel squeezed her hand. "We are a team, and I wouldn't want it any other way." As they enjoyed their evening together, they talked about their future, and they felt thankful for their love and happiness. Their journey had been full of challenges, but their love and commitment had helped them through it all. With their new home, growing family, and strong bond, Daniel and Amara looked forward to many more happy years together. Daniel and Amara were very happy in their marriage. Their love for each other grew each passing day. Their daughter, Zara, brought so much joy. Daniel loved Zara a lot, and she always smiled when he was around. One day, something terrible happened. Zara got sick. She had a high fever and looked very weak. Amara was very worried and told Daniel they needed to take her to the hospital quickly. At the hospital, the doctor checked Zara and looked serious. Zara had lost a lot of blood because of the fever. The doctor said she needs a blood transfusion right away, but their blood type is very rare. Amara was scared. Can I give her my blood? She asked. The doctor shook his head. No, your blood doesn't match. We need to find someone with the same rare blood type of Zara. Amara looked at Daniel with tears in her eyes. Daniel, please get tested. You love Zara so much. If your blood matches, you can save her. Daniel felt his heart sank. He knew that if he got tested, the truth might come out. But he couldn't let Zara suffer. He nodded, trying to stay calm. I will do it, he said. The nurse took some of Daniel's blood, and they waited. Daniel sat quietly, nervous about what might happen. He was very worried. After a while, the doctor came back with the results. He looked confused. Daniel's blood is a perfect match for Zara, the doctor said. In fact, it's such a close match that it suggests as a blood relation. Amara's eyes grew wide with shock. What? How can Daniel's blood match Zara so closely? How are they related? The doctor looked at them carefully. This kind of match usually happens only between a parent and a child. Daniel might be Zara's father. Amara felt like the world had stopped. She stared at Daniel, unable to believe what she was hearing. Daniel, is this true? Are you Zara's father? How could this be? Daniel felt terrible. He knew he couldn't hide the truth anymore. He looked down, ashamed. Amara, I am very, very sorry. I never wanted you to find out like this, he said quietly. That night, I was drunk. My friends pushed me to do something I regretted. I didn't know it was you until later. I have felt guilty every day of my life. Amara's eyes filled with tears. You were the one who hurt me. You were the man who ruined my life. Daniel nodded, tears rolling down his face. Yes, it was me, but I swear, I never wanted to hurt you. I have been trying to make it right ever since. I love you, Amara, and I love Zara. Please forgive me. But Amara couldn't listen. She was too hurt. She had trusted Daniel, and now she felt betrayed. As she cried, Daniel knew that the truth had finally come out, and he didn't know if they could ever fix their relationship again. Zara had finally come home from the hospital, feeling better, but the house didn't feel the same anymore. It was no longer the warm, loving place it used to be. Amara was still in shock, after finding out the truth about Daniel. The man who had been her supporter, who had helped her through so much, was the same man who had caused her the deepest pain. Amara couldn't stay. She couldn't live with the same man who had hurt her. So she started packing her bags quickly, trying not to cry as she folded her clothes and Zara's clothes with the toys. Her mind was full of thoughts of leaving. Zara played quietly on the floor, not knowing what was happening. Amara looked at her daughter with a heavy heart, wondering how everything had gone so wrong. As she zipped up the suitcase, Daniel walked into the room. He saw the bags and he immediately knew what was happening. Panic filled his heart. "Amara, please don't do this," Daniel said, his voice shaky. He stepped closer, trying to stop her. "We need to talk. Please don't leave me." Amara didn't stop packing. She kept her focus on what she was doing, not wanting to look at him. "There is nothing to talk about, Daniel," she replied, her voice cold. "You lied to me. You hurt me in the worst way. How can I stay here with you?" Daniel's face turned pale. He dropped to his knees in front of her, his eyes full of tears. "Amara, I beg you, please don't go. I love you and I love Zara. I know what I did was terrible, but I have been trying to make it right. Please, forgive me and give me a chance to fix this." Amara finally looked at him, her face full of pain. "You are lucky I didn't have you arrested, Daniel," she said, her voice shaking with anger and sadness. "But I can't stay here with you. You have to let me go." Daniel's tears fell as he continued to beg. "If anyone should leave, it should be me. I will go. I will leave the house, the city, everything. Just please, don't take Zara away from me. Don't take my family." Amara shook her head, unable to believe what he was saying. "You think you can fix this by just leaving? You broke my heart, Daniel. I don't know if I can ever forgive you." She grabbed her phone and called Kemi. Her hands was shaking as she spoke. "Kemi, I need you. I have to tell you something." Kemi could hear that Amara was upset. "What happened, Amara? Are you okay?" she asked, worried. "No, I am not okay," Amara replied, her voice breaking. "It's Daniel. He's the one who hurt me. I am leaving. I need you here now, please." Kemi was shocked. The news hit her hard. "What?" "Daniel, I'm coming right away," she said quickly. She hung up the phone and ran out of the door, her heart racing. As Amara waited for Kemi, Daniel stayed in his knees, still begging and hoping for a miracle. But Amara's heart was too broken, and her trust was gone. When Kemi arrived, she found Amara standing in the middle of the room, her bags packed and her eyes full of tears. Kemi hugged her friend tightly, giving her the support she needed. Together, they prepared to leave, with Daniel still pleading for forgiveness in the background, his heart full of regret and sadness. Amara and Kemi sat in the living room, both feeling shocked. The truth about Daniel had changed everything. The man who had been so kind to Amara and Zara, who had stood by them through all the hard times, was also the man who had caused Amara's deepest pain. Kemi spoke first, her voice gentle but firm. Now I understand why Daniel was so good to you and Zara. He was trying to make up for what he did. At first, it seems unusual, but now it makes sense. Amara felt confused and hurt. She looked at Daniel, who was still kneeling on the floor, with tears rolling down in his eyes. He had been her support, her rock, and now she saw him as the one who had caused the most pain. Kemi took Amara's hand and said softly, "Amara, I know this is really hard. What Daniel did was very wrong, and you have every right to be angry. But look at everything else he has done. Since that night, he had done nothing but try to make it right. He's been by your side, caring for you, and loving Zara as his own daughter. Some men wouldn't even feel guilty, but Daniel had carried his guilt with him every day." Amara listened, her heart feeling torn between her pain and the love she still had for Daniel. Kemi continued, "That night, Daniel wasn't himself. He was drunk, pushed by his friends. It doesn't make what happened okay, but it shows he never meant to hurt you. He's been trying to make up for it ever since." Amara looked at Daniel again, remembering all the good times they had shared. The way he had taken care of her when she was sick, how he was there for every doctor's appointment, and the way he looked at Zara with so much love. He had been everything she needed, even before she knew the truth. Tears filled Amara's eyes as she spoke softly, "Daniel, you hurt me more than anyone else ever could, but you also love me more than anyone ever has. I don't know if I can forget what happened, but I can't deny how much you have changed my life." Daniel looked up at her, his eyes full of hope and sadness. "Amara, I am very, very sorry for everything. I love you, and I love Zara. I will spend the rest of my life trying to make things right, if you ever forgive me." Amara took a deep breath, thinking about everything they had been through together, the good times and the bad time. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but deep inside, she knew she still loved Daniel. Kemi squeezed Amara's hand, offering silent support. Amara finally nodded, her voice trembling as she said, "I don't know how we will get through this, but I'm willing to try. You have shown me how much you cared, Daniel. Maybe we can heal together." Daniel's tears fell as he stood up and hugged Amara tightly. "Thank you, Amara. I promise I will never hurt you again. I will spend every day making you and Zara happy." Amara looked up at Daniel, and their eyes met. In that moment, all the pain, love, and hope they had shared came back. Slowly, Daniel leaned in, and they shared a tender kiss, filled with forgiveness and a promise of a fresh start. As they stood there, holding each other close, Kemi smiled through her own tears. It was the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter of healing, love, and forgiveness. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but with each other, they believed they could overcome anything. And from that day forward, they worked together to rebuild their family, stronger and happier than ever before. The story of Daniel and Amara teaches us that love and forgiveness can heal even the deepest wound. It shows that people can make mistakes and that understanding and compassion are crucial in overcoming past hurts. Despite Daniel's initial wrongdoings, his sincere effort to make amends and his genuine love for Amara and Zara demonstrated that people can change and grow. The story underscores the importance of facing difficult truths, the power of second chance, and the strength found in forgiveness. True love involves accepting each other's faults and working together to build a better future. Thank you for watching this amazing story. Please kindly like, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you on the next video.